you find yourself in the cabin with me at 9:45 at night, these are my normal sailing apps. Quite a variety, you might say. But I'm here to show you something else. This one here, and forgive the flight engineer's breve, that will probably change at some point. But this one was written by me, is written by me. It's still a work in progress. It's currently connected to the boat, to my NEMA 2000 network via a gateway device which transmits on Wi-Fi. It's already too complicated, isn't it? Well, what is it? Well, it's a flight data recorder essentially. I can just record all of the data off the boat and then analyze it at a later date. But it's also got a few other functions. For example, I'm going to use this to calibrate my wind sensor, which is not dead straight on the boat. It's 5 degrees canted off, or some degrees canted off, and I have written some software which will analyze. I got a sail on both tacks several times, and it'll do some root mean squared and look for the data that doesn't fit, and from that calculate what the offset on my wind vane is. So that's that function, which is interesting. So we got the flight data recorder, I called it the vessel data recorder, and the calibrator. But then, you know, if you've got all the data, you might as well use it. So I've got selectable boxes for everything, and because I've got an AIS receiver, I might as well have AIS, so I can zoom out all the way to 72 miles and all the way in to 0.125 of a mile. What's that, a 16th? Don't remember now. No, it's an 1/8. And you can see, and these are live contacts, and if I tap on one of them, there's his data box, and takes a little time for all the messages to come through to fill up all of the data, but eventually he will take his place on the AIS page. So there's 60 targets in range at the moment which I'm receiving data from, and they're listed from closest to furthest away, and you can tap on any one of them and read all of their information that they programmed into their AIS. Obviously a lot of this hasn't come through yet. Class A is probably the ones that have got more data than others. So yeah, that's a little thing. We've got an AIS overlay on a HSI. That's a horizontal situation indicator. Oh, I can do true heading instead of magnetic heading, just because we got that on the aeroplane, so we got to have it on the boat. And then I can choose what data to show here from this list. This is all the data that I'm currently decoding, parsing and decoding to give the full blob. So I can choose any of this to be in any of the data boxes, or just leave them blank. Then I've got, I don't know why I did this. This is all of the GNSS information, all of the sat-nav information. And what we've got, because the boat's got a sat-nav and the iPad's got a sat-nav, I'm using them to cross-check each other. And I've built a RAIM function in, so it can isolate an individual satellite that doesn't match all the others and stop using it. It will be shown here as the, what does that stand for? I made that up because I didn't want it to say RAIM, so I said fault induced something error, horizontal error. Yeah, so that will, if I get a satellite that's bad, it'll show up here, and then it'll tell me which satellite it is, which system, whether it's GPS or the Russian one or whichever one, and then it will tell me how much of an influence it's having on the overall position of the boat. And then we've got what I've called the witness here, the device witness, which is the iPad, which is confirming that the GPS position is good, because it only uses different satellites, and we can see that they've each got their own. Horizontal dilution of precision is the technical term, and then the horizontal accuracy is what you get from the location feed from an iPad. And what we've got is comparing one to the other, the separation. They're 2 meters apart, and they really are right now about 2 meters apart. So that's that page. And then finally, I've got an instrument page. I'm still working on this one, so at the moment I've just got the 12 most common things that I look at. And I have changed it to nautical miles now, so that's my log. It reset some time ago, so it's not really the total log distance, that's just the last couple of trips. And I can have this in day mode for daytime sailing and night mode for nighttime sailing. So that's what I've been doing in my spare time for the last 2 months. All done with Xcode on my laptop. I had to scavenge the internet for a simulator that could transmit NEMA data so that I could build my own parser. There's plenty of information on the boat networks on the internet, so I didn't have to decipher the codes. I could just find people who'd already decoded the different messages and confirm that what they'd done made sense, and it does. And like on this page here, if for some reason the network goes down, I can still use this as a heading display using data straight from the iPad, and you can see here the magenta is information that is from the iPad rather than from the data network. If I switched off the data network now, you'd see about four of those would be remaining, and they'd all go magenta, including the heading there. And because I'm recording, there you can see it's just reading the data again. Because I'm recording my trips, I can replay those files as well on here, so I can relive a trip. Oh, and I missed the most important part. That little button there, learn. I'm not going to press it now because I've reset everything. It will learn the speeds that I sail at and build a polar diagram for the boat. So I will then, once I've got enough data, I will then be able to see if I'm sailing as efficiently as I can, or if I need to do a bit of trimming, or if I'm faster than I've ever been before on this point of sail based on the wind speed. So yeah, full polar learning function, which will build up a database over time and amend the polar diagram as it gets more confidence in the information. These little marks you can see here, there's no wind at the moment, 2.5 knots. The white one is the true wind, and the blue one is the apparent wind, and they get little barbs on them for 5-10 knots, so you'll be able to see just visually the apparent speed, angle, and the true and the apparent angle and speed on the display. Yes, that one has been on the move, which is why he's got a line sticking out of him. If I zoom out, oh look there, that one. I've got a very simple, it's not complex, it's not very good actually, but I've got a very simple algorithm to mark targets if they are dangerous or not, and they'll change color to amber if they're dangerous. Let's zoom out a bit more, see if we can. The white ones mean they're moving, so anything that's grey is stationary. Anything that's white with an arrow sticking out of it is moving, and if it turns amber, then it's dangerous. So I'm in the marina right now, so I'm surrounded by boats that are sitting with their AIS on. Mind you, so am I right now, but just for this demonstration. But obviously when I'm out and about, there won't be a big grey blob in the middle. There'll just be a few targets here and there, and I'll be able to interrogate them. No name yet. The touch doesn't work very well with this iPad cover on it, but there, that guy there, CPA 0.38 of a nautical mile, time 13 minutes. Yes. So there we go, and I'll work on it for a year or two, maybe make it all perfect. There's a few things, like at the moment it's very power hungry, and if I try and display that, it's complicated. There's a lot of data that gets transmitted on the network, and if I try and decode it all at the same time, it overpowers the iPad and freezes. So I've got like a filter on at the moment that some stuff only gets interpreted every certain time period. Some stuff you have to keep watching because it builds up a long message over time, like the AIS information and the GPS information. You get little packets of information, they build up into a long sentence with all the details on it. Yeah, it's a very boring video. I'm not sure if I'll put this on the internet. I might do. You'll find out soon.